This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use their repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0200 Zulu on Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you have NetLogger, you can hop over and say hey in the AIM window, and I'll get you logged in. That is the easiest way for me to get you logged in, and I won't mispronounce or misspell your call sign or anything like that, or your name for that matter. And let's see, I obviously take them over the air. I'll do that in a little while. I am also on YouTube this evening for those of you who may be listening on YouTube. You can check in by saying hey in the chat window as well, and if you do have a call sign, you can type that into the chat window there, and that'll be an easy way to get yourself on the list for sure. I also take them over email. My email is ki0ar@ki0ar.com. Just let me know you're out there listening, and first name and a location. And if you do have a call sign and you're just listening, and you can send me an email, that's great too. So however you want to check in, numerous ways to get on the list for sure. Oh, let's see. Speaking of which, I gotta pull that up. All right, I gotta see how long I'm talking here. We'll let the repeater systems reset, and then I'll acknowledge who I've already got. All right, this is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and acknowledge a few check-ins already. Got several of them over there, so let me get those several on YouTube. There we go. Okay, let's see. We got David, WE8M, thanks for checking in tonight. And Dave, AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken, NB7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mike, KO5AOK over on YouTube, thanks for checking in tonight. And Mary, WK60F, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see, Mary, I think that may be, I'm not sure if you've checked in before or not, but it's not popping up on QRZ. Maybe that's a new call there. So welcome on, or congrats on that. But yeah, if you could, Mary, if you could let me know what your location is, I'll get you on the list for sure. You just type that over in the oh, okay, VA, okay, that is a new call, so all right. There we go. We'll correct that real quick. So is the WK60F a new call, or is that just part of your handle there, Mary? Go ahead. Over on YouTube, just let me know. I'd appreciate it. All right, Mary, we got you. VE3AOA, thanks for checking in tonight. And we'll see if that's a correction on the call or just, there you go. Yep, I got you. I got you there, Mary. No worries. You're on NetLogger for sure. All right, I'll go ahead and open up the net. Anybody else? If you wish to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
November Tango 9 Alpha. November Tango 9 Alpha. Patrick in Madison. Ethan Burnett. KG5KSJ. KG5KSJ. It's Alio in Cedar Park, Texas.
Okay, let's see if I can double with that. Someone's got an open mic with some interesting feedback there. It started micing on me, and we got an echo there, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. Hopefully I can talk over the Telstar signal there. This is KI0AR. Yeah, we're going to have to wait until the signal times out for that to clear. This is KI0AR.
Time out.
This is KI0AR. Can anyone respond on this frequency? I don't know if it's still locked out. This is KI0AR.
Launch your transmit. Time out. Reset.
This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Oh, that was fun. Got some feedback on there, so I will acknowledge those who I do have in just a sec. We did have some feedback there, so there was somebody with a mic echo in there. Went on forever, then sounded like satellite signals, and then slow scan TV. So I don't know exactly what happened with that, but we just let the system clear that signal off there. So apologies for that, but we will continue. Let's see. I got yeah, there we go. NT9A, Patrick, we got you on the list. Thanks for checking in tonight. Alio, KG5, KSJ, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Thanks for checking in tonight. I'll get back with you in just a sec. John, W2JLS, over on YouTube checking in, so thanks for that. And we got Roy, KI7PKL. Thanks for checking in tonight. Alio, welcome to the net. My name is Bernus. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Been doing the net for almost 30 years. Come February. Wow. Lots gone on. In fact, one of the bulletins tonight is kind of covering the last 30 years. An interesting topic as far as that's concerned, so hopefully you can stick around. But I always like to touch base with my first time check-ins, find out what your interest, background is in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades like I have, or somewhere in between if you've got a particular interest or anything like that, or just here to learn. And we're all here to learn. In fact, I learn something new every time I do this, do the net, and I'm the net control. So there you go. right now, I've taken a few check-ins, got some announcements, got some local astronomical news, got some bulletins, and then after that, I like to go down the list and talk with everybody. Find out what they're looking at up in the night skies, any questions, comments, things like that. Alio, again, welcome to the net. Tell us a little bit about your background interests in astronomy. KG5, KSJ. Go ahead, please.
Well, fine. Yeah, this is KG5KSJ. Go by Alio. Government knows me as David, and my brother called me Alan. So anyway, my friends call me Alio. I'm down here just north of Austin, Texas, and I kind of put the radios away every now and then goodness, I need to have my radios up and running, and just listening and monitoring tonight and heard you out there. And it's nice that it's the Astronomy Net that they ask about an interest because, I had my first little Tasco and I had to work my paper out. I was dragging that paper bag across 2 feet of snow behind me across the top of the snow to get my money together to buy my little Tasco out of the Edmund Scientific Catalog when I was about 10 years old. And I've been fascinated with it all. I had the privilege of doing an art project down here that was part of a fellow's graduate work in astronomy down here at UT. It was called the Capital Planets Project. He made a scale model of the solar system using the Capitol Dome as the sun, and the ratio to that with the size of the planets, a tennis ball was Mercury down at the One American Center. I made Venus for him. That was a 7-inch agate sphere that we hung in the Performing Arts Center over people's heads on a piece of piano wire. And but since then, through the years, at one point, I had a 10-inch meat that I really enjoyed for a long time and traded it off one time when I later wished I hadn't. So that kind of brings me up to date. Still just fascinated out there every night, looking up and wondering and kind of following other people's work and listening. So it'll be great to listen to you all tonight. And thank you again for that warm welcome. It's KG5KSJ, back to net control.
All right, Alio. Yeah, thanks for checking in tonight. Yeah, booming in tonight. No worries there. And yeah, Tasco, I remember those. Exactly. They the small things. Hopefully you've gone on to bigger and better things. And yeah, hopefully you can stick around. We're going to run. We usually finish around 9-ish, depending on how many people we have checked in. Tonight it may be slim pickings, but we'll see. All right. All right. Getting one other person on the list, a couple other people here. Yeah, that feedback got a few people hopping over on YouTube as well. So thanks for y'all over on YouTube checking in that way. Let's see. Yeah, Graham, we got you. MM1DEA. Thanks for checking in tonight. And Mark, KF0VXO. Thanks for checking in tonight over on YouTube. So thanks for that. That's a new call on the list as well. So Mark, KF0 VXO, same question to you. Your interest, background in astronomy, and whether you're just starting out, you've been doing it for a while, things like that. So if you can post that over on YouTube, if you can check in, that'd be even better. But if you can post that over on YouTube. I'll pass that along to the crew as well. Always like new check-ins there. Got to build up the base for sure. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and get into announcements. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on. Again, let's see. I think that might have been, I'm not sure who that was, but if I lost you during that, the echo incident, yeah, I'm going to get timed out myself here, so just a sec. Okay, yeah, this repeater system does have a 3-minute timeout function, so thanks for that. We do have, let's see, who's Captain Jack. We got you on the list, Captain Jack. KE0VH. Thanks for checking in tonight. Over on YouTube as well. So there you go. I'll go ahead and get into the announcements. Let's see, there's somebody over on NetLogger with SWL, shortwave listener. If you could post a name or a call sign with that. If you're listening, but you got NetLogger, so yeah, post a first name and a location. That would be great. All right, announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. You can also visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the webpage is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the webpage and the newsletter. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out at Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Usually. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit their website at www.iaas.org. And find out more about the club. Also check out Facebook under the same name, the the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page, so be sure to hop on there and like us both. The IAAS also has a call sign. I'll tell you that in just a sec. Looks like I'm about to time out again. All right, the IAAS does have a call sign, K0AAS, so if you happen to hear us out on the radio, be sure to give us a shout. And let's see, one more announcement. For those of you who are interested in flight simulations, you may want to check out Jack, KE0VH's YouTube channel, Captain Jack Flight Sim, CAPNJACKFLTSIM, Captain Jack Flight Sim, on Mondays and Wednesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. nice little ride along, virtual ride along with him while he's flying the big 737s up there on his flight simming and what he does, and a view from the cockpit, the virtual cockpit, which is actually pretty darn close to almost real viewing for sure. He can certainly tell you a lot more about that during his flight sims on Mondays and Wednesdays. So check that out. He does have some past flights post on his site as well. So thanks for that, Jack. And let's see. Rip, we got you on the list. K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. And Steven, KM6VAY, thanks for checking in tonight. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Another quick pause for check-ins. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, I think I got that right. November 5, X-ray, Charlie X-ray, is that correct? Give me a QSL or a correction. Go ahead, please. All right, I got November 5, X-ray Charlie X-ray, Woods down in Florida. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net, so thanks for that. My name is Bernus, that's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. You found the Colorado Astronomy Net, so definitely appreciate that for sure. Quick question for you, Woods. Your interest, background in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades or somewhere in between. Tell us a little bit about your background interest. Go ahead, N5XCX, go ahead. All right, Woods, welcome to the net. I appreciate you checking in tonight. Hopefully you can stick around. I know it's a little bit late there as well. We'll probably run till about 11 your time, but hopefully you can stick around. Got a lot of information, a lot of good stuff to pass along to you guys. In fact, I may as well start just getting right into it right now. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We basically finished up most of the events for December. Not much going on for the next couple of days up in the night skies. You can definitely take a look at the moon and the planets, but we're going to go ahead and get into Basically, this is a dry run of my newsletter for January. So the times are still going to be pretty close for the first of the month here. So I'll go ahead and get started. Oops, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Start off with the phases of the moon for January. This is all for January stuff so far. We've got a full moon coming up on the 3rd. This is actually the 4th supermoon in a row. They usually occur pretty close together. December's supermoon was actually the best of the 4 supermoons that we've had the last several months. The January one is about 2,000 miles further away than the one in December. So not quite, just a fraction smaller, but it is a supermoon. Actually, if you get out there, last couple of nights, the moon has been quite bright. And in fact, it might actually be, my buddy and I were actually commenting on the shadow of the moon, and it's not even in full state yet. Our shadows cast by moonlight. So the moon shadows. There you go. So check that out. Full moon on the 3rd. We've got a last quarter moon on the 10th. New moon occurs on the 18th, and the first quarter moon occurs on the 25th. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth in January. On the 1st, it will be 223,910 miles from Earth. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month. On the 13th, it will be 251,928 miles from Earth. The moon will be at perigee again on the 29th, but at 227,341 miles from Earth. So a big jump from the perigees over the last couple of months, but that is what makes a particular full moon a supermoon, is when it coincides or nearly coincides with the perigee of the moon. So that's one reason I share that with you guys and on the newsletter. Planetary highlights for January. Saturn is on display in the early evening sky this month, along with Uranus and Neptune, both within reach of binoculars. Jupiter dominates the night, reaching opposition on the 10th. The gas giant is the prime target for the month. The long winter nights offer lots of time to enjoy the view. Mercury continues its year-end showing through the new year, visible in the morning sky for a brief time. Excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, January 2026, page 28. Now on with the planets. Mercury will be at superior conjunction on the 21st, meaning that it is on the opposite side of the sun than we are. When it is at inferior conjunction, that means it is between us and the sun. Right now it's going back behind it on the 21st. Mercury rises at 6:36 a.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Mercury returns to the evening sky, setting about 5:56 p.m. by month's end. Mercury is visible about 30 minutes before sunrise low to the east during the first 2 weeks of the month. Actually, right now, the next several days, it's a good time to see if you can get out there with your brand new telescope that you got for Christmas and see if you can spot Mercury. Mercury moves from the constellation of Sagittarius into Capricorn, shining at magnitude minus 0.6 on the 1st. Quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as a magnitude number increases, the relative brightness of an object decreases by about a factor of about 2.5. For every 5 magnitudes, you can expect about 100 times a difference in brightness, either brighter or dimmer for every 5 magnitudes. The dimmest that the human eye can see is about 6th magnitude under optimum conditions. If you're in a big city like I am near Denver, 4th magnitude is pushing it. So a 5th magnitude object is 2.5 times brighter than a 6th magnitude object, while a 7th magnitude object is 2.5 times dimmer than a 6th magnitude object. So any magnitudes less than 6 you should be able to see with the naked eye, or always put those telescopes and binoculars up to them, see more detail for sure. And actually, this is a month for conjunctions, conjunctions for sure, and several oppositions. Venus will be at superior conjunction on the 6th. Venus rises about 7:20 a.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Venus returns to the evening sky, setting about 5:48 p.m. by month's end. Look for Venus low to the west about 30 minutes after sunset during the last 2 weeks of the month. So right now, Venus is definitely lost in the early morning twilight glow. And that'll be for this week and for next week as well. So you'll have to wait a little while for Venus to make its swing around the sun and then appear in the evening sky. Venus moves from the constellation of Sagittarius into Capricornus, shining at magnitude minus 3.9 on the 15th. And for the Earth will be at perihelion, its closest approach to the Earth in January, on the January 3rd. It will be 91.4 million miles from the Sun. And then, let's see, Mars will be in conjunction with the Sun on the 9th. Mars sets at 4:51 p.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Mars returns to the morning sky, rising about 6:57 a.m. by month's end. Look for Mars low to the east in the morning, about 30 minutes before sunrise during the last 2 weeks of the month. Mars moves from the constellation of Sagittarius into Capricornus, shining at magnitude 1.1. Okay, I may have confused some of you a little bit right now because we have superior conjunctions, inferior conjunctions, and regular conjunctions. Like I said, for the inner planets, Mercury and Venus, we have superior conjunctions and inferior conjunctions, meaning that the superior conjunction is on the far side of the Sun, while the inferior conjunction is on this side. It's between Earth and the Sun. Those are the only 2 planets that do that. All the rest of the planets are on the opposite side of the Sun when they are in conjunction. When the planets, when the Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto series, all those objects are in what they call opposition. That means they are on the same side of the Sun as the Earth, but we are between those planets and the Sun. So speaking of which, we have Jupiter will be at opposition on the 10th, rising as the Sun sets. Jupiter rises at 5:24 p.m. on the 1st, about 3:03 p.m. by month's end. Look for Jupiter to the southeast in the evening, then follow it through the night sky as it sets in the early morning hours before dawn. Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 2.7. All right, next we have Saturn, setting about 10:53 p.m. on the 1st, about 9:04 p.m. by month's end. Look for Saturn to the southwest in the evening sky soon after sunset. Saturn moves from the constellation of Aquarius into Pisces, shining at magnitude 1.0. And we got Neptune is setting about 4:10 a.m. on the 1st, about 2:05 a.m. by month's end. Look for Neptune to the south in the evening. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.7. So just borderline naked eye object for that one under clear sky, clear dark sky conditions. We got Neptune following very close to Saturn. It's been doing that for several months now. Neptune sets at 11:11 p.m. on the 1st and about 9:12 p.m. by month's end. So very close setting times. Actually, their rise times are actually closer than their set times. But they rise in the around noonish. Look for Neptune in the southwest in the evening, following Saturn by just a few minutes all month. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.8. And if you've been watching Neptune and Saturn over the last several months, you'll notice that Neptune is slowly moving further and further away from Saturn. Saturn preceding it in its race around the sun. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing, we got for our dwarf planets, we have Ceres setting about 11:38 p.m. on the 1st, about 10:20 p.m. by month's end. Ceres can be spotted low to the southwest, just below and east of Saturn and Neptune. Ceres is in the constellation of Cetus, shining at magnitude 9.0. And we got Pluto will be in conjunction with the Sun on the 23rd. Pluto sets at 8:13 p.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Pluto returns to the morning sky, rising about 6:58 a.m. by month's end. Pluto is lost in the Sun's twilight glow all month. That's both the evening and the morning twilight glow, and is not visible. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.2. Yeah, it's definitely washed out in the twilight glow. We'll probably have to wait late February or early March before we see Pluto again high enough in the morning sky to see that one. Meteor showers, the quadrantids. This shower is generally visible between December 28th and January 7th, with a very sharp maximum of 45 to 200 meteors per hour occurring during January 3rd and 4th. The meteors tend to be bluish and possess an average magnitude of about 2.8. So this is the weekend to see if you can get out there. Unfortunately, we do have a full moon to contend with on the 3rd, so it's going to be very, very difficult to see any of the dimmer ones. You may see some of the brighter ones of the quadrantids, so it is not well placed for good viewing this year, unfortunately. but you might see some of them streaking through the skies. Anyway, you definitely won't get the 200 meters per hour, but hopefully you'll get maybe a dozen or so bright ones that you'll see. That's about all you're going to get because of the full moon this year. Oh, actually, I should say next year for that matter, for January. Okay, we do have a comet. Comet 24P Shamas is passing through the constellation of the Coma Berenices, Virgo, kind of through the Virgo cluster of galaxies, and Boötes this month. It's kind of shining around 10th, well, let's see, ranging between 8th to 12th magnitude, depending on what it does. You'll have to stay up. It rises, about 11:30 p.m. So you'll have to stay up late, around 2 a.m. or so, until it gets well above the horizon to spot this. Probably later in the month, well after the full moon, you'll have to see that, because it's probably going to be washed out as well. So wait till around the 15th to the 20th to see if you can spot that comet. Very dim, little fuzzball up there to see if you can take a look at for that one. And for those south of the equator, we got Comet C 2024 E1 Wirchholz. Rising in the evening twilight after mid-month, and it's expected to reach perihelion around the 20th, and it could possibly be as bright as 5th magnitude, possibly even brighter, depending on what it does. So for our brethren south of the equator, they have a comet to take a look at as well. We got the dim one. And that is it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And just saw a post. Mary, thanks for checking in tonight. Appreciate that. And Happy New Year to you too. All right. That's V3AOA. Thanks for being here tonight. Okay. All right. Over on YouTube. I do appreciate everybody checking in over on YouTube as well. Let's say, what like Jack says, be sure to hit that like button, that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't subscribed, you can go ahead and subscribe as well. So thanks for that. Let's see. And let's see what else. I'll go ahead and pause here, see if there are any more check-ins. I don't see anybody over on YouTube. Yeah, Steve, I got you earlier. Anybody over on YouTube, if you're a first-time check-in or what have you, if you've got a call sign, post that in the chat, or at least post your first name and location over there in the chat. Do want to welcome you guys aboard over on YouTube as well. That keeps all of this stuff going strong. I'll go ahead and pause here to see if there are any more check-ins before I get into the bulletins for this evening. Kind of running a little long tonight. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
02 with Kevin, Quebec, Golf, Foxtrot.
Whiskey 5 Alpha Lima Charlie. Whiskey 5 Alpha Lima Charlie.
Okay, let's see. I think I got everybody with a few fill-ins there. Luckily, I know some of these calls, so I do appreciate all my regulars in there. Hopefully, my new call signs will be regulars soon enough. Ed, we got you on the list. W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Vic, K7MLI, thanks for checking in tonight. Susan, KJ7QGF, thanks for checking in tonight. And Ronald, let's see, W7 ALC. That's a new. That looks like it's not popping up on my database, so that's a new call on the list. So Ronald, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Appreciate you checking in tonight. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. Call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. You just heard the local astronomical news. Got some quick bulletins and got a rocket report coming up. I wonder if Ed will be able to give that tonight, but I'll check with him a little bit later. But Ronald, I'd like to touch base with my first-time check-ins, find out what your interest background is in astronomy, whether you're just starting out or or been doing it for decades as well. Just find out what your interests thereabouts. And tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Please go ahead. W7ALC. I do believe that was the correct call sign. If it's close, let me know if I messed it up. Yep, there we go. Oh, W5. Okay, I did. Where did I get W7 from? Sorry about that. Okay, I think W5. That looks awful familiar. Yeah, John. I'm sorry, John. I messed you up. I messed me up, I should say. Apologies for that. Yeah, we got you on the list, John. Appreciate you checking in tonight. My mistake. All right. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on, but if you have NetLogger or YouTube, or you want to send me an email, I'll get you checked in that way. So check on that. Where was I? Interesting. A couple of interesting things real quick. Where were they? The first thing I like to do is pass along this particular website, www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. I do suggest that you guys log into that. And let's see, log into that. Enter in your home coordinates, and you can get much better timings for ISS passes over your local area. I'm looking at ISS passes. Whoops. All right, that's kind of weird. Over the local area, we had an interesting pass this morning, nearly overhead. And the one thing I like about this particular website is that I can pull up a nice large star chart to take outside, to doodle on, to do whatever on, as opposed to looking at a small screen, a small iPhone screen or an iPad screen or something like that. You can, if you drop this particular piece of paper, it won't break. If you're holding it over your head awkwardly trying to see what's going on. All right, just a sec. Yep, you can pull that star chart out, print it out, and take it outside, and you can see the path of the ISS, especially if you know how to use star charts. But this is set up as a star chart, so you'll kind of have to think backwards for it a little bit if you're holding it over your head. Again, that website is www.heavens-above.com. And mostly, in fact, all of the passes over the Denver area are in the very early morning hours. So again, that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And for those of you who are on YouTube, here is that star chart on a piece of paper that if I drop it, it ain't gonna break. All right. Find out. Here's a little thing that we've been talking about for months, maybe almost a couple of years now. You remember that? Why hasn't the nova exploded? In the summer of 2024, NASA announced that a star named T Corona Borealis, or T Corbor, was about to explode. It'll fuel the next generation of scientists, the space agency declared. Almost 2 years later, our wait continues, says amateur astronomer Eric G. David, who photographed the star's location on December 30th. T Corbor is still near minimum brightness, estimated to be between plus 9.5 and plus 10 on the morning of December 30th, says David. T Corbor is a recurrent nova. That means it erupts not just once, but over and over again. Its explosion in 1866 was the first nova astronomers had ever seen in detail. No one knew what caused it. Another blast in 1946 established its period 79 or 80 years and led researchers to the modern interpretation. T Corbor is a binary star system consisting of an ancient red giant circled by a hot white dwarf. Hydrogen from the red giant spills onto the surface of the white dwarf. It takes about 80 years to accumulate a critical mass. Then, boom, a thermonuclear explosion occurs. So, why hasn't the nova exploded? It might be as simple as this. NASA's announcement was a little premature. 80 years after the last explosion would be 2026. The new year could bring an exploding star after all. So we'll keep looking for that one in the skies. That's from space.com. Or spaceweather.com. So that's a little tidbit. And to be honest, that's what I was saying several years ago, that I think they were a little early on that. And sure enough, somebody else says it's a little bit early for that. So 80 years from 46 would be 2026. So we'll see if that occurs. So we'll keep an eye on T Corona Borealis over the next 12 months for sure. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This article is from space.com. The most exciting exoplanet discoveries of 2025. New discoveries and fresh looks at familiar worlds show how far exoplanet has come and how much remains unknown. This year, the number of NASA-tracked confirmed worlds discovered beyond our solar system surpassed 6,000, and several thousand more await confirmation. The milestone reached just 3 decades after Nobel Prize-winning discovery of the first planet orbiting a sun-like star in 1995, is largely the result of the planet-hunting power of NASA's Kepler Space Telescope and Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS. And we talked about some of these exoplanets getting discovered back in 1996 and 97 and things like that. We were just barely touching the surface of exoplanet discoveries back then, 30 years ago, when I did start the Colorado Astronomy Net. So we've come a long way since then. Continuing. The growing tally reflects how dramatically humanity's view of our home galaxy, the Milky Way, has expanded, and how diverse its planetary population has turned out to be. Far from mirroring the relatively flat, orderly architecture of our solar system, new observations and more detailed re-examinations of familiar worlds revealed entire classes of planets with no counterparts at home. Super Earths, mini Neptunes, and hot Jupiters, as well as worlds on contorted orbits that are forcing astronomers to rethink how planets form and evolve. As the year comes to a close, here's a look back at some of the most intriguing, puzzling, and rule-breaking exoplanets astronomers studied in 2025. These worlds illustrate both how far exoplanet science has come and how much there still is to learn. More Tatooine-like worlds leapt from science fiction into the exoplanet database this year, as astronomers identified multiple planets orbiting 2 suns, sometimes in configurations that challenge the basic rules of planetary formation. The strangest of these worlds emerged in April when a team reported the discovery of 2M1510AB and lowercase b. It's kind of weird how they name these things. A planet orbiting 2 brown dwarfs, which are often called failed stars because they're not massive enough to ignite nuclear fusion. All right, we got some, let's see, just a real quick pause here. Got to see some new calls or new IDs over there on YouTube. So welcome. They're probably new. Yep, that's Astro Newbie 1. Reed Dossie, we got you. Happy holidays to you. Oh, you got a call sign. Cool. So I'll get you on the list. So thanks for that. And I'm sure that is a new call sign as well. So welcome to the net. Let's see, there's some chatting going on too. So there you go. There is an available Echo link. check out skyhublink.com, skyhublink.com on the connections webpage there, and that'll be down there with the Echolink node, Echolink 985839, but you may want to check for sure. There you go, over there on YouTube, skyhublink.com. And let's see, if you don't have a call sign over there on YouTube, if you could post your first name and your general location, city, state, would be great. I'll get you officially logged into the Colorado Astronomy Net, and welcome. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net, continuing with the bulletin for this evening. Located about 120 light years from Earth, the world orbits above and below the poles of its two stars, rather than along the usual flat plane. The Discovery team inferred the planet's presence using the Very Large Telescope in Chile, after detecting an unusual backward wobble in the brown dwarf's orbits. This was a gravitational clue that the researchers said could be explained only by a hidden, steeply inclined planet that was possibly knocked into place by a stellar flyby long ago. Later in the year, a different team discovered 3 Earth-sized planets orbiting a compact binary system, TOI-2267, just 73 light years from Earth. Using data from tests, the team found that all 3 worlds transit both stars, even though such tightly bound star pairs are thought to be gravitationally unstable environments for planet formation. Adding to the haul, 2 independent teams identified HD 143811, AB sub B, a massive planet that had been hidden in archival data for years, captured by the Gemini Planet Imager on the Gemini South Telescope in Chile. The world orbits a young twin star system about 446 light years from Earth. Though it's roughly 6 times the size of Jupiter, the planet is only 13 million years old and still glows with heat left over from its formation. The alien world's host stars whirl around each other every 18 days, while the planet itself traces a slow 300-year orbit around both. The contrast of a fast-dancing binary and a distant lumbering giant poses a lingering mystery of how such a massive planet formed and survived in such a dynamically complex system. The exoplanet K2-18b arguably became one of 2025's loudest exoplanet flashpoints after renewed claims of possible life swiftly ignited scientific debate. The world made headlines in April when a University of Cambridge-led team announced what it called its strongest evidence yet for potential biosignature gases in the planet's atmosphere. Using new transit spectra from the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, the researchers argued that the data were consistent with dimethyl sulfide and possibly dimethyl disulfide, gases that on Earth are strongly associated with marine biology. The findings, the term argued, bolstered the case that the planet could support life on an ocean-covered world they described as potentially teeming with life. Within weeks, however, independent analyses challenged that interpretation. One group showed that non-biological gases, including propane, could reproduce the same spectral features without invoking life, while another concluded that the JWST signal was too noisy or too weak to draw definitive conclusions. The debate also drew attention to the limits of JWST, which was conceived before the discovery of exoplanets and is now being pushed to the edge of its capabilities to study one. Still, researchers emphasize that K2-18b remains a high-value target for understanding sub-Neptunes, a class of planets absent from our solar system. Additional JWST transits already in hand may yet clarify what, if anything, the planet's atmosphere is truly revealing. If the ultimate result of this story is that the public is more circumspect about future claims of life detection, that's not a terrible thing. Eddie Schweiderman, an assistant professor of astrobiology at the University of California, Riverside, who is not involved in research, told Space.com. New analyses of TRAPPIST-1e, one of 7 Earth-sized planets orbiting a cool red dwarf star about 40 light-years from Earth, suggest the planet may lack a substantial atmosphere, complicating hopes that it could support life-friendly liquid water. Earlier JWST observations hinted at methane in the planet's atmosphere, raising the possibility of complex chemistry or even biological activity. Follow-up studies, however, indicated those signals were likely contaminated by the star itself. Computer simulations showed that any methane on TRAPPIST-1e would be rapidly destroyed by intense ultraviolet radiation, surviving only about 200,000 years, not nearly long enough for geological processes to replenish it. Variations in the signal from transit to transit further suggest that if an atmosphere exists at all, it remains extremely difficult to detect. A reminder that even the most promising worlds can defy easy answers. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing. This is kind of a long one, but I did find it rather interesting about the exoplanets there, so hopefully you do too. In 2025, astronomers sharpened their view of the planetary system around Proxima Centauri, the Sun's closest stellar neighbor, which lies just 4.2 light-years away, thanks to a powerful new instrument designed to hunt worlds around small, cool stars. The Near Infrared Planet Searcher, or NIRPS, I'm just going to call it NIRPS, a new high-resolution spectrograph installed at the La Silla Observatory in Chile, delivered its first science results in July. The team led by Alejandro Mascareña of the Institute of Astrophysics of the Canary Islands in Spain confirmed the presence of Proxima b, an Earth-sized planet known to orbit within the star's habitable zone, thereby validating the instrument's capabilities. NIRPS also confirmed a smaller planet, Proxima d, and helped rule out a previously claimed third world, thus refining the census of the nearest planetary system. The results also marked a technical milestone. For the first time, astronomers reached the precision needed to detect the faint gravitational pull of small rocky planets around red dwarf stars, which emit most of their light at infrared wavelengths, making instruments like NIRPS valuable in the search for Earth-like planets beyond our solar system. This year, astronomers discovered rare exoplanets that orbit so close to their stars that they have long tails of material. These worlds are caught in a fleeting moment in cosmic terms before they disintegrate. One such world, BD plus 054868AB, was spotted by TESS about 140 light years from Earth in the constellation Pegasus. The planet completes a full orbit every 30.5 hours, circling its star at a distance roughly 20 times closer than Mercury orbits the Sun. At such proximity, intense stellar heat vaporizes material from the planet's surface, which then streams into space, forming a blazing comet tail. That tail is enormous, stretching up to 5.6 million miles or 9 million kilometers, or about half the planet's orbit. The Discovery team estimates that the planet sheds the equivalent of a Mount Everest's worth of material every orbit and can completely disintegrate within 1 million to 2 million years. The dust in the tail may contain material from the planet's crust, its mantle, or even its core, which would give scientists a rare opportunity to study the internal composition of a distant world, something normally far beyond observational reach. Another team used JWST to study a very different kind of planetary tail around the ultra-hot Jupiter WASP 121b, also known as Tylos. Located about 858 light years from Earth, instead of shedding rock, the planet is losing its atmosphere. JWST revealed two enormous helium tails spanning nearly 60% of the planet's orbit. One trailing behind, pushed back by solar radiation and wind, and a second, rarer, leading tail curved ahead of the planet, likely drawn inward by the star's gravity. Astronomers using JWST found an atmosphere clinging to a planet that, by all conventional rules, should be completely airless. The world TOI 561b is a small, scorching lava planet that orbits one of the oldest stars in the Milky Way, so closely that its year lasts less than a single Earth day. Tidally locked with one side permanently facing its star, the planet reaches surface temperatures of more than 3,140 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 1,726 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt rock, and is old enough that any primordial atmosphere should have escaped long ago. Yet, JWST observations suggest the planet's day side is cooler than expected for a bare, airless rock, pointing to the presence of a substantial atmosphere that may have persisted for billions of years and is redistributing heat around the planet. If confirmed, the finding would mark the strongest evidence yet for a long-lived atmosphere on a hot, rocky world that is neither massive nor temperate, challenging assumptions about the extreme conditions in which planetary atmospheres can survive. And this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net, continuing. This year, astronomers have observed two cosmic moments that bookend the life of a planet. In one study, astronomers captured a never-before-seen view of a planet forming about 437 light years from Earth. The observations taken with the Magellan telescopes in Chile and the Large Binocular Telescope in Arizona show the alien world as a faint purple dot embedded within a ring-shaped gap in a dusty disk around its star. The forming world WISPIT 2b, is just 5 million years old, yet it is already about 5 times as massive as Jupiter, and it's sitting within a clearing in the disk as it gathers dust and gas to grow. Astronomers have long suspected that such gaps mark the presence of newborn planets, but this is the first time one has been directly observed actively carving out its orbit. The team also identified a second candidate planet closer to the star, hinting that this system may be building multiple worlds at once. Closer to Earth, another team captured a glimpse of a dead star's remains. Observations of the white dwarf LSPM J0207 plus 3331, the dense remnant of a long-gone massive star about 145 light years from Earth, reveal the ongoing destruction of a planetary relic, possibly a body roughly 120 miles wide, being torn apart by the star's intense gravity. Using telescopes in Chile and Hawaii, astronomers detected heavy elements recently deposited on the white dwarf's surface, which they say is evidence that the debris was accreted within the past 35,000 years and may still be falling in today. Findings suggest that gravitational forces that shift as the star decays can destabilize surviving planets and smaller bodies such as asteroids, thereby triggering collisions and sending fragments spiraling inward to their destruction. And that's it for that bulletin for this evening. Aren't we glad we live in a solar system that's relatively calm, for sure. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, did I acknowledge? Yeah, I acknowledged a couple of people over there. Yeah, there you go. Reed Dossie, 2001, and Astro Newbie 1. Thanks for checking in, guys. Appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and call on Ed, W6RDZ, for tonight's rocket report. Good evening to you, Ed. Are you ready to give the rocket report for this evening? Go ahead.
Good evening, Berta, and good evening to the net. Yes, I can roll with the rocket report. Just got in off the street, so we can do this. Worked out well. So first thing, Berta, thanks for the wonderful bulletin. That was great. And that dovetails well with the rocket report because this is a nice short one. We only had 7 orbital launches this week. We made it through that end-of-the-year frenzy. With 4 Chinese, 2 Russian, and 1 Indian launch, and next week we should have 2. So, yeah, I don't have any big news items. Let's see. We ended with 3 cellular broadband service coverage in the U.S. And weighing in just at over 6 metric tons, this was the quote heaviest satellite ever lifted from India's soil using an Indian launcher. That, according to ISRO chairman Ray Anand, a Prime Minister Narendra Modi also hailed the successful launch, calling it a significant stride in India's space sector. The shot with the low Earth orbit was India's second LMV-3 launch of 2025, the fifth Israel mission of 2025, and that was the 117th orbital launch in 2025. We'll reset the repeater there. 56 RG said back with the rocket report for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Second launch was rescheduled yet again, finally, on Thursday, December 25th at 7:11 Mountain Standard Time. Roscosmos launched the Obzor-R mission on a Soyuz 2.1A rocket from Plaset Cosmodrome in Russia. The Obzor-R satellite is an X-band synthetic aperture radar, Earth observation satellite in sub-synchronous orbit. It was the sixth Soyuz launch of 2025. Third launch of the week, also on Christmas Day, December 25th, China Aerospace and Science Corporation successfully launched SatNet Group LO Group 17 on a Long March 8A rocket launching from the commercial LC-1 pad at Wenchang Space Launch Site, China. That at 16 of 26 Mountain Standard Time. Another batch of 9 SatNet LEO communication satellites headed to low Earth orbit to join China's mega constellation. It was the sixth Long March 8A mission of 2025. Fourth launch of the week was on Friday, December 26th at 9:07 Mountain Standard Time. China Aerospace and Science Corporation successfully launched the Benghazi 4th Long March 3/8 rocket out of LCQ, Xichang Satellite Launch Center, China. Benghazi are China's weather satellites launched to polar and geosynchronous orbit. This one went to geosynchronous orbit. It was the 15th Long March 3 mission of 2025 and the 320th orbital launch of 2025. We'll reset the repeater there. 76 RG said back with the rocket report. Fifth launch Sunday, Russia launched another Soyuz. That was at 06:18 Mountain Standard Time. December 28th, Roscosmos launched AIS-2-2D01 and 02 satellite. That on a Soyuz 2.1/Freakin' M rocket from Site 1S plus Cosmodrome in eastern Russia. The payload is a pair of optical constellation of small satellites in sun-synchronous orbit. The satellites are for Mediterranean basin observation and is the program of the Italian Space Agency. This appears at the time of press, it'll be the last and record 324th orbital launch attempt of 2025. And the next launch is currently scheduled for next week. And the opening the 2026 launch manifest. SpaceX scheduled to launch Starlink Group 6-88 on the Falcon 9 from Split 48 Canaveral Space Force Base, Florida at 2200 Mountain Standard Time, Friday, January 22nd. Links to all those launches are on the web version of the report. And that's it for tonight's Rocket Report. This is W6RZ, Rocket Man Ed, wishing you a happy new year, a good night, and nominal flight. All right, back to Starman Burnett, KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
All right, Ed, appreciate you doing the rocket report for us. Yeah, a little slowed down, so I appreciate, well, you give it a nice, relatively short rocket report tonight. I took up most of the time tonight. That was a long one. I didn't realize it was quite that long until I really got into it. But definitely interesting stuff of the last year in exoplanets for sure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that for the end of the year bulletin there. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Right now is, well, we're running real late on going down the list, so I'm going to go ahead and call to see if there's anybody else. I don't see anybody else over on YouTube that I haven't acknowledged already. Nothing new over there, but I'm glad there's still people over there. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. All right, good evening to you, Joel. KD9, Zulu Golf Zulu, thanks for checking in tonight. All right, now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net, now's the time to do it. Before everybody disappears, actually, some people already have. Happy New Year to everybody. And just in case, I'll definitely say that at the end, but I'll catch you right now. Please stick around and share with the net tonight for sure. And I do understand if people have dropped out, that's no worries there. First on the list tonight is David in Ohio, WE8M. Good evening to you, David. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KI0AR in the net. This is WE8M. Just don't have a whole lot here. We've been socked in by clouds for quite some time, and probably for the next few days or weeks as well. But anyway, want to wish everyone a happy New Year and clear skies and 73 to everyone. This is WE8M.
All right, David, thanks for that. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, we actually have some pretty clear skies last couple of nights. One little tiny dusting of snow, but that was early AM hours, so I missed that. But some nice clear skies around here, but and it's actually been kind of warm. It's now finally getting into winter temperatures, but we had an Indian summer real early just last week. But yeah, David, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see. Stay warm, stay dry. Let's see. Next on the list is Dave up in Evergreen. AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Bernard. I don't have a whole lot for the net tonight. It's been pretty quiet in my neck of the woods. Just wish everybody a happy new year, and we'll send it back to the net and see if we can wrap this thing up.
All right, Dave. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. 324 launches this year. It was amazing just to see one or two launches when I was growing up, or one launch every other year or something like that. Just amazing. All right, Dave, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Ken out in Nevada, NV7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening there, Bernard. NV7SS here in cold Indian Springs, Nevada, where it's in the mid-20s. I'll tell you, it's been that way all week. And supposed to start getting rain starting tonight, so we'll see what happens with that. And so there won't be much observing outside, I'll tell you. It's just too darn cold, I'll tell you, to get out there. But anyway, there, wish everybody a happy new year, and you too, and you take care, and it's been a good trip with you, Bernard, and looking forward to next year. You take care, and we'll see you next year. NV7SS, back to you, Bernard.
All right, Ken. Yeah, definitely stay warm. Yeah, last week was 30s to 70s here in Denver. This week it's more like teens to mid 50s. So 40-degree temperature spreads between coldest and warm, and definitely the cold, unfortunately, is at night. It would be nice to have 50s at night, but I don't think that's happening. All right, Ken. Yeah, stay warm. I think winter finally got here for sure. And appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Mike in Oklahoma over on YouTube, KO5AOK. Good evening to you, Mike. If you've got anything to post, any observation reports, just post them over in the chat window on YouTube, and I'll pass them along to the crew. But I definitely appreciate you checking in via YouTube tonight. Mary, VE3AOA checked in and out. We already said our goodbyes to her. Definitely appreciate that. Next on the list is Patrick up in Wisconsin, NT9A. Good evening to you, Patrick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, Bernard. Good to hear you. Haven't been on here for a while, so it's good to be back on. We've got a lot of clouds going on over Madison lately. Not a whole lot of clear skies looking up, but more recently, about a month ago or so, we had a fair amount of aurora. Maybe a little bit more than a month ago. Some friends got some really good pictures of some good aurora activity around here, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, not much to add besides that. Good to hear you. Back to you, NT9A.
All right, Patrick, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Yeah, definitely love to see some of those rural activity pictures if you still got them. From further north, we got some interesting pictures down south, mostly reds and some greens, but just changing curtains of color. Probably be a little bit more dynamic up further north, but love to see them sometime, Patrick. But appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Alio down in Texas, KG5 KSJ. Good evening to you, Alio. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Thank you for the call. This is KG5 KSJ Alio here north of Austin, just right on the north side of Austin, Cedar Park. And speaking of auroras, we had some auroras in Leander. That's just about 5-10 miles up the road from here. And we also had aurora, I heard, so hearsay, down in Austin, even with all the lights and all, which is all kind of the strangest stuff. I mean, that's stuff, but they say about 40 years ago too, so maybe it's just something that happens every now and then. But anyway, I really enjoyed monitoring the net tonight, and I look forward to being with you again. And I'll be clear, 73 to everyone out there. Be safe.
All right, Alio. Yeah, well, that actually occurred during one of our nets. Was that the 11th of November? I think it was. We had auroral activity here in Denver. And then I have another ham buddy of mine that was down in Paris, Texas. He sent me a couple of shots from down there for that night. Texas does get some auroral activity, very rare, but actually that has become a little less rare. I think we had some stuff like that last year or the year before as well. I'll have to look back. Yeah, I think so. But we are out on the downslope of a solar maximum. We're seeing some of that activity, and that's what happens with a lot of this. They occur on on just when the solar maximum starts its downward trend towards solar minimum. We get some interesting coronal mass ejections and large solar flares around that time, and we get some auroral activity fairly south. Definitely Texas is definitely far south. And I actually took some of the images that we saw here from my student group, and I think David up in Ohio sent me some pictures, and got some other pictures from around the state as well, and then down in Texas too. And made a little quick video over on my YouTube site if anybody wants to take a look at that. For those of you who are on YouTube, check out that a little auroral 3-minute auroral activity that I shot. You can see some interesting changes in the sky for that. That's what we saw down south. Not nearly as dynamic as what we see above in the Arctic. For sure, but it was definitely neat to see down this far south. Alio, again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is John in Ohio, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KI0AR, Vernon, JLS.
All right, John, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And yeah, one of the other things that Galileo saw through his scope was the planet with ears. And he was just relating to seeing Saturn and its ring system. Didn't know exactly what that ring system was, so he just called it a planet with ears, I do believe. So there you go. Yeah, and learning some of the stuff about those exoplanets and like you say, the James Webb Space Telescope was not designed to look for exoplanets. And there we go. Looking for the infrared signatures of exoplanets with the JWST. So interesting stuff. Learning new ways to look at old stuff. Anything that's further away from our planet is definitely looking into the past. So there you go. Looking into our time machine that goes backwards. There you go. All right, John. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Roy up in Oregon. KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Bruce, and everybody on the net. And it's a clear night tonight, but it's windy. Always something. But hey, new year is on the way, tracking number and all, and I'm pretty excited. So, good things in store. Anyway, back to you. KI7, BKL.
All right, Roy. Roy, I did have a question for you. I need to go look through some of your images. I've got a little project in mind, and if you could send me an email of just the images of galaxies that you may have taken, I may expound upon what that project is. I don't want to announce it over the net. I want it to be a surprise. But if you could do that for me, I would appreciate it. Send me either some links to some images of some galaxies you may have taken. I would appreciate it there. Roy, go ahead.
There aren't very many, but I think I have three that I can think of. And actually, one of those, M81, I think I have more data that I never included. So I might reprocess that one too. So, okay, I will get back to you on that. And hey, thanks for using my images for whatever you do. Catch up, details.
All right, Roy. That would be great. Yeah, I saw the list. Graham in Scotland checked in over on YouTube, but I know it's well past his bedtime. He doesn't stay up till 4 a.m. What the heck? We'll give him a call anyway. MM1 DEA. Graham, are you still with us tonight? Either on YouTube or over the air. Go ahead. All right, I always appreciate Graham checking in from Scotland and staying up late with us for sure. Next on the list over on YouTube, Mark KF0VXO, new call on the list. So again, welcome to Mark on the net tonight. Rick Redak, the name over there on YouTube. So thanks for checking in, Rick, if you're still there. Or Rick Redak. Mark, if you've got anything you'd like to pass along to the net, I'll keep an eye on the YouTube chat there. So I do appreciate any comments and you checking in tonight. Next on the last, also Jack on YouTube tonight as well, KE0VH. Jack, if you've got anything that you want to pass along, you can post it over in the chat window over there on YouTube as well. And let's see, I saw Rip checking out. We'll give him checked out over on net logger, but we'll give him a call, see if he's still there. Rip, K3XO, you still with us? Go ahead. All right, always appreciate Rip checking in from West Virginia. Next on the list, Steven also checked in on YouTube. KM6VAY up in Fort Collins. Good evening to you, Steven. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, let's see. Steve reported no news. Happy New Year to y'all. And then here's another year of stargazing. All right, thanks for that, Steve. Appreciate you checking in. And yeah, Mark, there we go. Yes, sir. Still here. Wanted to hail on the radio, but here will suffice. Yeah, thanks for all of it. All right, thanks for all I do. Appreciate that, and still monitoring for the last few years. Recently took the plunge and got my license. Yes, there you go. And I saw that. Yep. So welcome to the ham bands, KF0VXO. Check out EchoLink. Check out the EchoLink app if you've got it, or All-Star Node. You don't need a radio. You can check in over your computer there, so I do appreciate that. And let's see. All right. Wanted to start talking. Here you go. Yep. Don't we all? I got interested in astronomy via mutual friend and find out. All right. Super important. Well, in some cases, it very much is. So appreciate that, Mark. And again, welcome to the ham bands. And yeah. And welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net for sure. There you go. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Yeah, thanks you guys for posting over on YouTube. I always like to see those posts. Wish we could do audio there. All right. Next on the list is Woods down in Florida. N5XCX. Good evening to you, Woods. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, don't know what that was. Got no audio on that, a little scratchy. So wonder what that 20-second thing was there. All right, well, we always appreciate our new contacts there, Woods, N5XCX. Next on the list is Ed, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Kilo Fox station, this is KI0AR. Didn't get the call there. This is the Colorado Astronomy Net, but your signal was loud and clear, no problems. A little white noise on the background, but solid copy into the radio system there.
Zero, Foxtrot, zero, Victor, uniform, Tango. Okay.
All right, this is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I will take check-ins at the end of the list. If you have NetLogger, you can pop in over there, or if you're over on YouTube. I'm monitoring over there as well. So either way, I will see you checking in there. And I will take calls over the air in just a few minutes. We're getting down to the bottom of the list here. I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is Ed W6RDZ. We're driving in a noisy environment. I can hardly hear you. I got nothing on observation. Just wanting to press my thanks for keeping up the net and doing this so long and letting me through. You have a great evening. This is W6RDZ.
All right, Ed, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And yes, your rocket report has become a staple of the Colorado Astronomy Net for sure. Yeah. So to appreciate all the work that you put into that on a weekly basis. So thanks for that. Next on the list is Vic down in Arizona, K7MLI. Good evening to you, Vic. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Brandon. There's a clear sky somewhere around 60 degrees or so, which is really still cool. Just hoping to catch the next to the moon tomorrow. And not sure if I have the right time to get everything on that. But give that a shot. Looking forward to that. And that's about it. Happy New Year, Bernard and Annette. And that's it. The Southern MLI.
All right, Vic. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, keep a lookout. Next. Let's see, tomorrow evening. Yeah, let's see. I don't have that. The moon is passing fairly close to the Pleiades through the constellation of Taurus. So watch that. Get out there, especially if you've got clear skies tomorrow night. See where it is tonight, and then move it over about. Maybe about a fist width, maybe a little bit. It'll pass somewhere near there. But get out there and watch it pass fairly close as well. So, Vic, appreciate you bringing that up and sharing that with us tonight. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is Susan down in Arizona. KJ7QGF. Good evening to you, Susan. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, Bernard. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Quebec Foxtrot, and yeah, we're excited to see a beautiful constellation on New Year's Eve. And we wish the very best for the new year to you and Mr. Long. And we'll look forward to 2026 with you. Thank you so much. This is Kilo Juliet Cummings, the best dog podcast.
All right, Susan, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. All right, and we got Sweetie W3N over on YouTube. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. So appreciate that. Anybody over on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like the the broadcast tonight. Definitely subscribe. Do appreciate those too. Subscribers and likes over on YouTube do count as well as the check-ins on the Colorado Astronomy Net via radio. I take all these numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. This counts as part of their outreach to the general public, so I do appreciate one of the few nets where your check-in does count, as well as the numbers over on YouTube. So if you want to support JPL, definitely give me a like, follow, what have you, or just say hey. That's fine. And then let's see. All right, where were we? We got Susan. Next on the list, John down in Pueblo. Apologies, John, for messing up the caller there. W5ALC. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Oh, it is not a problem, Vernon. I understand. Don't have much for y'all. Don't get to step into this that much. I'm usually in sleep mode right now, so I work overnight most of the time, but I'm on vacation now, so I actually get to participate. But really enjoyed the white bit of aurora that we ended up getting to see here in Pueblo recently, and that was nice. Actually kind of surprised to hear that they got to see it down in the Austin area, Cedar Park, Leander area. But that's where I grew up, so I'm very familiar with the area. And kind of, like I said, kind of surprised that they saw it down there, that far down. Completely unheard of as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, pretty interesting to hear that. But I'll go ahead and put it back next to W5 and LC.
All right, John. Definitely glad you got to see some of the rural activity last month. Last month for sure. Down there in Pueblo, and yeah, it was definitely interesting to hear reports from Texas as well. So not unheard of, but definitely very rare. If we get some more CMEs or activity like that, which is definitely possible during this winter, we'll see. We'll definitely try to keep tabs on that for sure. All right, John, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Another new call over on YouTube. Reed there, KO6FLD. Again, welcome to the net. What have you got for us tonight? You can post that over on YouTube. I'll pass that along to everybody else. So definitely appreciate you checking in. Same with Astro Newbie 1, if you're still there. I never did get a first name or a location on that one. So we'll skip right down to, so if I see any stuff over on YouTube, I'll pass it along. And let's see, keep in line on YouTube account via Folia999 to bless Earth. Well, there you go, sweetie. W3N. Thanks for checking us out tonight. Appreciate that. Next on the list, Joel down in Wisconsin. KD9ZGZ. Good evening to you, Joel. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We are at the bottom of the list and well past the top of the hour, so I'm going to make one call and one call only, unless you guys are real nice. For anybody else, questions, comments, late check-ins before I wrap up the net for this evening. If you are a late check-in, I'll definitely get back to you. But definitely check in with your call sign phonetically twice. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins before I close the net for this evening? Please call KI0AR now. Okay, I got a November 0 whiskey something X-ray, a November 0 station. Very weak signal. I'm going to turn up the volume on my radio. See if I can pull you out. If you could give me, I got the November 0 and whiskey. If you could give me, I wish I had some whiskey. If you could give me your call sign again phonetically, I'll get you on the list and get right back to you. Go ahead, please.
November 0, Whiskey, Romeo, Sierra, Echo, November.
All right, Wyatt, we got you on the list. N0WRS, haven't been heard you for a long time. So again, thanks for checking in tonight. Wyatt, what have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, Wyatt, your signal was very, very weak tonight. But I do appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. All right. Anybody else on YouTube? I'm not seeing anything else over on the YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the 23 check-ins for checking in tonight. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I want to wish you all a Happy New Year. And if I haven't wished you a Merry Christmas, or also a belated Merry Christmas as well. So thanks for that. I do appreciate everybody checking in tonight. Let's see. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater system this evening. Appreciate that. And I'd like to thank the SkyHub Link group, skyhublink.com, for more information on that and all the ways that you can check into the net for sure. So whatever modes you got, you more than likely we covered through skyhublink.com. Check out that website. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.
Good night, Bernard. Happy New Year, NV7SF.